What's up, sons? It's Blindrod with Son of a Tech once again, and today we have a new release from BZ Miner to discuss, specifically as it pertains to the Intel Arc GPUs. I have an Arc A750 and an Arc A380 on me today. We'll have to take a look at the 770, 8GB, and 16GB variants at a later date when I can run to the farm and pull them out. But we have support for Rethereum, which is the mining algorithm ETH-B3 for both of these GPUs, as well as support for Decred, but I will save that for a later video. If you're not aware, we have had a rig of A750s in my farm for quite some time now. They are very efficient at Ergo. For a while, they were the kings of Dynex until, of course, the FP64 support knocked them out of the race there. But fret not, BZ Miner has released a new version that supports them for ETH-B3, which is for right now, the only coin available is Rethereum, and of course support for Decred coming up here shortly. You can find the release on their GitHub, which will be linked down in the description below. There is apparently support also as well for Ironfish, Alephium, Radiant, Chlor, XNA, Ravencoin, Game Pass, Neoxa, and Meowcoin. Of course, Kapow covering most of those, or ProgPow in this particular case, covering most of those other ones. And then, of course, Alephium being a pretty easy switch for Blake 3, as well as Ironfish, which some of these are going to be changing their algorithms soon. Two off the top of my head, Ironfish will be shifting here pretty soon, as well as Meowcoin. I was really interested in the Rethereum hash rate here in particular. I do have the Arc performance here pulled up in case we want to overclock, and I already do have it downloaded, which I will show you here in just a second. Let's go ahead and get into our miners folder here. We have BZ Miner version 17. And as you can see down here, we have our batch file for Rethereum. Scroll down just a tad more, double click here and get it going. So I do know running this previously that this is already quite accurate. And you can see here that we have the Arc A750 at 152 watts, and that is coming out to 50 mega hash a second. Sometimes it can get to about 51 mega hash a second. I did discuss this with the dev. There are more tweaks that are going to be made on the miner side to get this even better from an efficiency standpoint. This does put it at 313 or around 300 kilohash per watt, which is going to be, if you're translating that, 0.3 about mega hash per watt, which we will compare, of course, here in just a second to the rest of the available GPUs for this particular algorithm. But there is one more thing we can do. Unfortunately, there is no memory overclocking yet available for the Arc series GPUs, but you can bring down the GPU core power limit. Now, I've played with this quite a bit already on the Arc A750, but if we want to here, we're going to go ahead and drag it on down to 90, which is what I found to be the most efficient, and apply that out, and we'll get the efficiency numbers from the A750 here for you guys too, because obviously right now with the way the mining market is, the more efficient you can get, the better, and that doesn't matter if you are an FPGAs, GPUs, or CPUs, or anything, all of the above, ASICs included. Becoming as efficient as possible is always important, but it's extra important right now. So you can see here, we ended up having the hash rate drop down on the A750 to 42 mega hash a second. However, we also had the power drop down to 95 watts, resulting in 442 kilohash per watt, or 0.44 mega hash per watt. If we go ahead and pop on over to hashrate.no for the benchmarks, we have the efficiency charts up here for Rethereum, and we can kind of scroll down and find where this would place on the chart. You can see here that it would be pretty much around the same efficiency as the RTX 3080 12 gigabyte. Now, from that perspective, of course, for density reasons, if we took a look at the RTX 3080, it has 97 mega hash a second. It would probably still be better or more advised to go with the 3080 in this particular case if you were comparing the two, because of the fact that you would have double the hash rate. Of course, Then we get into pricing, right? Which is like the RTX 3080 is way more expensive than the A750. But if we're looking in the A750 range of pricing, it does appear that you would still want to stick with AMD on this particular algorithm, as the 6800 XT, as the 5700 XT would be in the same price range and come out to 0.67 mega hash per watt, and the 6600 XT would come in at the 0.67 mega hash per watt and is around that same price range of the A750 as well, even brand new. I think you can pick up, of course, the RX 6600 for about $239, which would be 0.65 mega hash per watt. So unfortunately right now with the Intel A750, it is not quite as competitive as we would like it to see right out of the box with Rethereum. But as I stated earlier, the developer does say there are more tweaks that can be made. Unfortunately with the A750 as well, as we got to mention, the memory is locked at 2000 megahertz unless you get the A770, in which case it goes up to 2100 megahertz, but 100 megahertz on the memory is really not going to push you above much more than what this is. We can definitely take a look at it later, and I will be going over the rest of the algorithms on the rest of the GPUs and covering all of that for you guys. I just wanted to get this out there because it was pretty exciting. The support for the A750 from BZ Miner is awesome as well, getting some new algorithms, being able to play with that sort of thing. For now though, with the Intel Arc series, it does appear that you're going to be best served going ahead and sticking with Ergo and the Autoligos V2 algorithm if you're mining with these GPUs in particular. Thanks for watching. Be sure to hit the like, comment, subscribe, and notification bells down below, and I will see you next Tuesday.